Yo, the CG Ruthless Sports. I will be brutally honest. Ain't nothing but being brutally honest. Coming at ya with another video. So, the 49ers versus the Minnesota Vikings preview talk. Let's get on to the topic. So, the 49ers are on a 2-game winning streak. So are the Minnesota Vikings. 2 of the wins have came away with the Vikings beating the Green Bay Packers for that shootout win. They came away with a win against them. And the Niners came away with a win against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So this is an evenly fair matchup between the two teams in general. So, looking at the injury reports, the Minnesota Vikings are going to go without their defensive line, Michael Pierce, who's their best run stopper, and Dalvin Tomlinson has been placed on COVID or something, where he's on COVID list or something, so he ain't going to play. And Danielle Hunter is ruled out with a torn ACL, I believe. And Everson Griffin just recently had to get some help with mental health or something like that. Wish some great recovery for the guy. But that's not the point. So what do the 49ers do best in this situation? The Vikings are ranked at least among the worst against the run. So the way we've been doing it lately, especially against the Rams, the Niners have been running the ball effectively good and been running the clock really good. The longest drive they had last week was against the Jaguars, which was 13 minutes and 5 seconds, which was a record that hasn't been done since 2000. That speaks volume about the team in general, that they're playing a different brand of football. They're able to run the ball. They're able to stick with it and not abandon it. So it's a huge plus. So the Vikings, for example, they got an offense. Kirk Cousins is playing at the highest level in his career. He's got 21 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Why would we be surprised? It's because he's playing the least mistakes in this season. So the running game, Dalvin Cook is making it easy for him. And a guy like Justin Jefferson is in his second year playing at the highest level too. And then you got Adam Thielen, who's still a savvy veteran and still doing it at the highest level. But the fact that the Vikings are still able to be where they're at, they are in the 6th seed. So looking at the playoff picture, the 49ers are automatically as the 7th seed from what I was looking at. And looking at the matchups, the 49ers should be able to match up well against the run. The secondary can be questionable, but Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk are playing some good football. Despite Deebo Samuel running the ball last week against the Jags and having his best performance as a runner, you can't forget the fact that he's a good receiver too. So who do their secondary going to match up against? You got Patrick Peterson, and then you got quite a few other cornerbacks out there. But majority of the matchups is going to be favorable. So when I look at the Vikings versus our offense, I feel like we have a better shot of beating them in a shootout. But if you look at the Vikings offense versus our defense, evenly fair, I think it's going to be an evenly matchup. All we got to do is slow down the running game. Dalvin Cook has been their best part of their offense. They've been able to move the ball a lot better with Dalvin Cook. But last week against the Jaguars, the San Francisco 49ers had stuffed James Robinson to under 30 yards rushing. That's impressive. And he's a good running back. But that's no insult to Dalvin Cook. He's probably one of the better running backs, if not the best in the NFL. But when you look at the matchup, how are you going to stop him? We just have to have some good run stop. And the fact that he'll get the ball in the backfield too is scary. But what do we do best? We're going to get some key players coming back. We're going to be able to read the coverage a little here and there. So you're going to have Dre Greenlaw coming back from injuries. And you're going to have maybe the possibility, you're going to have D Ford coming back. That's going to make a lot of our defense look better in the pass rush department. But when you look at the offense, there's a 50-50 chance that we might have Elijah Mitchell play this week. Because he's already recovering from a fractured finger that he had surgical repair on. It looks kind of like a possibility that he can play against the Vikings, especially with their wounded defense. Their run defense is ranked at least the 27 against the run, so that's not good. But what do we do best? We get these speedy backs and we run it right down their throats. What do we do best against that kind of defense is we're able to capitalize and kill the time of possession. The fact that we have George Kittle, the fact that we have Ayuk and Debo, and then Juwan Jennings doesn't get talked about, but he's a really physical run blocker. He does a lot. So when you look at our favorable matchup, what gives the 49ers the edge? The time of possession. We've been able to run the clock effectively well the last couple of games. So that to me is convincing that the 49ers should be able to win this game by a shootout. Why do I think the Vikings could have a chance? Partly because they can try to pressure Jimmy G or get enough opportunities to run the ball with Dalvin Cook and run us a little here and there. Or the fact that Jefferson or Adam Thielen might have a field day and it might be closer than you expected. But when it comes down to it, I see the 49ers winning by 3 points. So when I look at the prediction, I do see the 49ers dominating the running game. Their receiving core may not put up the stat-wise numbers, but I see Jimmy Garoppolo put up maybe about close to 200 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, maybe 1 pick if we had to put it out there to make it a close game. And then you look at Kirk Cousins. He'll look at between 230 yards probably, and maybe like 2 touchdowns, maybe 2 picks or 1 pick, one or the other. I can see it come down to it because our pass rush should be able to create pressure. But he's the least sacked quarterback, so that could be the issue right there. But it wouldn't surprise me if we come away with a win against the Vikings. So I do have the 49ers winning 30-27. It's going to be a close game, and it's going to be one of those down to the wire. So it's pretty much a tough task. I think Minnesota is on a roll too, and the Niners are on a roll. But one of them's healthy, and the other one isn't. So pick your poison. It's kind of like, it's not that hard to pick one, but you can't go wrong with either team. So I just got to go with the 49ers on this matchup because offensively, they're getting healthy. And defensively, they're peaking at the right time. So don't sleep on the 49ers. They are actually kind of making some noises during this stretch. The 2-game winning streak, we'll wait and see. But as always, that's my opinion. So let me know what you think in those comments. As always, CG Ruthless Sports is out, and you already know. Go Niners.